I want to ask y'all. James Harden is one has some of the worst plot in history, and that made me think. Give me a list. Top 5 players with the worst plot
Patrick
of
Ewing.
all time. Yeah. Do it in order, boy. We got it,
Charles
boy. We do this
Barkley.
in order, baby.
James Harden. Oh, it's in order. I haven't done the order yet. I would just throwing out people, and then afterwards I'll think about the order.
Jared, are you agreeing with these 3 people he said?
Yeah, for the most part.
I feel like it's like 2 other people I'm missing.
There's people you should definitely missing. A lot of people have terrible plot in this league.
That were like, but it's like terrible obvious plot. People, awful like plot. Obvious pieces.
One person. There's 2 that's
Greg
very
Oden?
obvious.
Greg Oden, he got terrible plot. Does that count?
We're gonna say no.
Can injury plot count? Okay, injury don't. Okay,
only if it's like they've had a good healthy sample size and then they have bad unfortunate injuries, but not like he's always injured, so he never got to his peak. Not that type of injury.
Not that type of injury. Okay.
Okay. If I do I'm gonna put Patrick Ewing. I will put Patrick Ewing in the top 5. I'm gonna put him number 5 though. I'll put him number 5. I'll put Patrick Ewing number 5 because Patrick Ewing, he got 2 finals at least, but obviously he ran to the greatest player of all time, and that's unfortunate. I'm gonna throw out names. Do you think they should be ahead or below? What do you think? I'm gonna throw out some names. Paul George, how you feeling? What's Paul George at?
Ooh.
You think Paul George top 5?
No.
LeBron curse destroyed LeBron. Okay. What about Demar Derozan? His plot's terrible. That man like vanished his comedies. That man plot terrible. That man won 59 games. They got swept. That's terrible.
LeBron's just so funny though. Oh,
that man got the 1 seed and got swept. That's tough. That's good plot right there, buddy.
Oh, that's number. Yeah, I'll give it to him. Yeah.
You put him. So wait, do you think he's higher than Patrick, or do you think he's 5?
I think he higher Patrick. They got a whole name for that shit. LeBronto.
They trade him, and the next year, they trade him, and the next year they won championship.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty ass.
Oh, I got going. What we got? Steve Nash. That's bad plot. That man got hip checked, and then people cleared the bench, and then everyone got suspended against San Antonio, and then they lost all the games remaining. I love it. That's good plot. I love that plot. Good for the soul. 0 championships and 2 MVPs. And they don't even respect his MVPs either. They say, why not Shaq and Kobe? Tough.
I don't know.
That's bad plot. His plot terrible.
So,
especially Mike D'Antoni led teams usually have some goo trashy poo plot.
Can I put Doc Rivers on there too?
But as a head coach, you got some bad head coach plot.
Can I put Doc Rivers? He probably has the worst plot of all of them though. The match.
Yeah, Doc Rivers is hilarious.
Can I put
I love Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers blew 3-2 leads like it's his birthday. 3-2, 3-1, boy.
Yeah, I would say
3-1 lead blow. That's crazy.
He's higher. I think
Steve Nash or Doc Rivers.
We could put Doc Rivers on there.
No, I'm just curious because you said Doc Rivers. So if you put Doc Rivers, he'd be very high. But let's not put Doc Rivers right now.
Steve Nash, yes, he would be number 3. I'll put him up there.
Okay. Now, there's 3 people that I believe should be in this top 5. So we're going to have to mix and match. I'm going to tell you these 3 people who I believe should be in this top 5, and you can mix and match here. All right. Now, put number 3. This could be very high. Karl Malone. Terrible plot. Terrible plot. That boy plot's abysmal. Abysmal. Boy, that boy, I'm telling you, boy, this man one of the greatest chokers I had ever seen in my life, boy. I be watching him play in these postseason games. That boy missed free throws. That man got stripped. Utah, that man got stripped from behind. And wait, Carl, why you hold the ball? Michael Jordan come down to game your team. He beat you twice. He lost in the first round to Golden State. He was like look. It took till they were in their mid 30s. Karl Malone got drafted like he was 22, 21 until his mid 30s to finally make the finals, get eliminated every year. Rockets, Sonics, all these teams. He finally made the finals. He went to the greatest teams of all time. That man plots terrible. He a choke artist. He definitely in the top 5.
Nah,
you can put him somewhere.
I don't know. Patrick Ewing, like, he ran into this nigga Michael Jordan every single year. In the year that Michael Jordan retired, he finally gets to what he's supposed to do and still can't win shit because of two Texan team.
I mean, his plot is definitely bad. Yes, he definitely got bad plot. But Patrick Ewing, even though he did have that choke, he did choke against the Pacers for sure.
Exactly.
Karl Malone is a perennial choker because you haven't looked at the Karl Malone catalogs. You looked at those last 2 finals. The Karl Malone catalog is crazy. That man is a perennial. And he had two. How many times, Patrick, you won MVP?
Has he ever won MVP? I don't think he's ever won MVP.
How many times Karl Malone won MVP?
Once. Twice? Okay.
That man's first team All-Pro for the whole NBA for like the whole decade. Mm-hmm. That man's best player besides Hakeem and Jordan in that time, and he can't win nothing because of stupid plot because of Hakeem and Jordan.
Well, is that the same thing as like it's the same thing as like Ewing though.
It's the same thing, but I think Ewing faced Jordan probably like 2 times in the playoffs.
And then, but like you think about they still lost though. But even after that, when Ewing injured, they go to the finals, right? Without him, they go to the final.
The Ewing theory is funny. I mean, yeah, you could. It's definitely a coin. We could definitely. I mean, you could put both of them. I don't know if you want to take. You could take like Nash or DeRozan out. You know what I'm saying? Because DeRozan is not as high profile as Karl Malone is.
I think DeRozan too funny. His shit too funny. The fact I think it hurts because I think DeRozan got to be up there because he immediately left and they won the championship, so he just got to be up there. Maybe Steve Nash to me. I'll probably take Steve Nash out.
And these two definitely got to be on it, regardless of anything. James Harden's his plot's awful, obviously. You know, all the years in Houston and his ability to choke. But the number one player in all of NBA history with the worst plot is Christopher Emmanuel Paul. That boy plot belonged in the absolute trash can, boy. I see that man plot and I say, ew. Remember we watched that show? Maurice, we watched was it Rugrats? And then the way that one girl talked about that voice acted great. She's like, ew, that would have killed my soul. That's that man Chris Paul plot. Chris Paul got 2. Let me see. He blew a 3-1 lead to us, right? Good for him. He had a 3-2 lead. I think he has the record for 3-2 leads blown. He lost to Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic stunned him in Game 7. Damn. He get KD. He get injured anyways. They lose. He gets me. Remember, he's on my team. He blow a 3-2 lead. Why he blow a 3-2 lead? He get his hamstring hurt. That man, the next year, Chris Paul play. Kevin Durant doesn't play. Steph Curry still drops him off. Steph Curry been dropping off for years. He has 2 highlights. Steph Curry has multiple highlights of dropping off Chris Paul. Remember Chris Paul did that little Steph Curry did a little behind the back. Chris Paul fell down like this. And it, the trajectory swung because Steph Curry's plot said shoom and Chris Paul's plot said shoom. Chris Paul get injured every single year. Every year he has a shot of winning anything ever. Injury. He said something funny a couple years ago. He finally made the finals. Yeah, he blew a 2-0 lead in the finals though. But he finally made the finals. He said, "Man, I'm addicted to it. I need to get back to it." And now people are like, "Hey, congrats for Chris Paul beating his addiction. He never get back to the finals."
I hate y'all so much.
That man Chris Paul was in the league for 18 years. That man been Chris Paul in the league for the first 13 years of his career. Never made the conference finals. 13 years. Chris Paul is a first-team All-Pro, All-NBA point guard, superstar, point god. That's his nickname. It took him 13 years to make the conference finals. It took him 16 years to make the finals. And he's been in the league all these years, and that's his only accomplishments. That man plot is terrible. And look, Chris Paul win a championship, that's a Merry Christmas. But that man been in the league as long as people been going to college. Like if you're 18, you're going into college. And in that time, that is his accomplishments in the postseason. That is abysmal. That man plot is terrible. And when he on your team, look at the biggest failures ever. Lob City Clippers, absolute failure, right? Great team, absolute failure. Look at the Rockets, Chris Paul and James Harden, Mike D'Antoni, absolute failure. The Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, absolute failures. And they're failures too. You saw they just lost by 30 just now, and then the year before they lost by 30 again to these 2 white boys with last name Itch. At the end of Itch, Jokic, Doncic. Which itch they facing next year? They got an itch. They can't beat the itch. You see what I'm saying? It's tough. That plot belonged in the trash. And Chris Paul, I'm sorry. I have a shirt. I made sure when the draft lottery happened, I didn't wear a shirt. I had a Chris Paul shirt still because I was like, I can't have that plot going to this because I'm at the 30th pick or something. I can't have that type of plot. I can't even go that low, but I can't do that. So I made sure not to wear that shirt. I wore a Olajuwon. It still ain't worked though. It ain't helped me. I still went to number 4. Mm-hmm. But what do y'all think? Do you think Chris Paul is the worst plot in the history of all humanity and all of kind?
No, you explained it pretty well.
It's a good argument.
I would say I would definitely give it to him. It's pretty ass what he has to go through.
Yeah,
it's pretty ass. And then he got drafted to the Hornets too, so that's really ass too.
And they had a good Hornets team. The Hornets had a really good team. He should have won MVP, but Kobe won it because he got no plot. Remember that?
There you go.
And then he was up 3-2 against the Spurs, blew that as well.